Speaking of insurance, with the holidays fast approaching, you might be playing host to a holiday party for your friends or family or coworkers. Before you do that, you should take some time to figure out how to make sure your guests are safe and to make sure you're protected if something goes awry at your home. So here to talk about that, we have AAA automotive expert Skylar McKinley back with us. So everybody may not realize that if they're the ones throwing the party, they may be liable if something happens.
That's right, and it gets a little tricky. In Colorado, you can't really be held legally liable if someone's drinking on your property and they're intoxicated and you serve them. They can go off and they can cause damage and you're not liable, which is where it's different from bartending laws, right? But what you can really look into is your homeowner's insurance policy. Typically, your liability coverage will cover you if something happens in your home. But when alcohol is added to that mix, say a guest trips and falls down the stairs or does damage to your home or automobile, your insurance might not pay out. So it's a good time to review your policy before that party just to make sure, hey, how am I covered when alcohol is at play here?
Yeah, that's a good point. And if minors are there, young kids playing around?
This is where it gets different. So if a minor is served alcohol on your property, whether you serve it or whether you know they're intoxicated on your property, you in fact can be held liable. So if they go off and get in a car crash, you can be held liable for both the damages there and for any really injuries people sustain. So this is why it's so important not to let minors drink on your property. It's not their parents who assume the risk, it's you. Yeah,
great tips, because that's such a interesting fine point there, a difference there. What else should we make sure of through the holiday season to keep safe?
I always recommend just hiring a bartender. It's one less thing you have to worry about, and plus having a bartender, they really know how to measure if someone is drunk or not. The other thing too is just create a culture now. We've got Lyft, we've got Uber, we've got ride hailing. If you're inviting folks to your party, make sure your expectation is that they have a safe way home. A lot of folks will say, oh, I'll drive. I think more and more we can now say, hey, you know what, just take an Uber, take a Lyft. People are receptive to it. Beyond that, the other thing is just don't get too drunk yourself. You want to be a good host, and being a good host, make sure you know what your guests are up to and that they're safe and secure.
All good tips. Good Christmas gift. Buy the Lyft for everyone.
Right.
Thank you, Skylar McKinley, for these great tips.
Of course.
Mitch, you having a party?